War of the Spark spoilers have been starting today, or leaks. Some of them look leaky. I can't really tell. Watsy, what are you doing, guys? Anyways, this set is actually really impressive. I know I like to be a negative Nancy, but it's been doing something I've been wanting for years. I've hated the design philosophy behind Planeswalkers. They innately have a lot of potential from their concept, but of course, Wizards is like, no, they have to be either Gideon or Vivian, and they have to be like that every time. No design ingenuity, no tampering with the templating too much, no static abilities. There's so much creativity here, and it's what I've been wanting, and it might be a good enough push to get a lot of them into Commander decks when, in the past, usually Planeswalkers have only resided in Atraxa and stuff like that. But I love the new direction these Planeswalkers are going. Instead of card advantage, removal, ultimate, sometimes a static third ability to make it OP. Okay, anyways, yeah. So, let's go over the first one here today. Ajani the Great-Hearted is a 1 green, 1 white for a 4 mana, 5 loyalty planeswalker. Instead of 3 abilities, it has a static ability that affects the entire board as soon as it enters and continuously. This is what I'm talking about. I want to see more of this. His plus ability is meh. Life gain is just kind of meh, generally speaking, and putting a +1/+1 counter on everything, also kind of meh. But the loyalty thing is going to be useful not only in this set, but for, things outside of this set for casual play, because Planeswalker decks are gonna fucking explode after this. But let me just talk about how cool and important it is that they're finally deviating from the typical formula. Usually, they just are very strict when it's with Planeswalkers, but the introduction of static abilities, that is something that that's how you build decks. You build decks with stuff like static abilities a lot of the time, or at least a lot of commander decks. It's very, very cool to have them act not all like the same thing that just makes a token, destroy something, draw a card. If you have doubling season out, you win. Oh, Gideon's a creature. Oh, I bet you didn't see that coming. Oh. No, this is good design, and I'm really glad that they're introducing it to this set. Also, notice the symbol. They're at all rarities now, which was another thing that was frustrating in the past, because then they had to either push some of them or make some of them deliberately disappointing. And there's no reason for an entire card type to be locked away by one rarity, especially the most extreme one, because it limited them from doing impressive things like this, and actually building around the card type. Let's continue. Starting with Liliana of the ridiculous name, I mean Dreadhorde General. 6 mana for a 6 loyalty planeswalker. This one's a mythic, so that means it's special. Whenever a creature you control dies, draw a card. See, that's like build around stuff. That's like, you'd actually put that in a commander deck. Probably not standard, but then again, Vraska was kind of terrible. Sacrificing 2 creatures on your end, I'm not sure if that's gonna be standard playable. Definitely not modern. But it does synergize with that first ability, which, once again, really good card design. First ability, creating a token, also synergizes with that first static ability. Good card design. It has an ultimate, so this is probably the most traditional Planeswalker we're going to see today. Basically, everyone sacrifices a bunch. Delirium decks might love it a bit too much, but I think it's a very well-designed card, especially for a Liliana. Next up, we have one of the worst characters written for Magic, who is not called Vivian Reed or whatever she was. Obnixilis the hate-twisted, ooh, edgy. But, enough bashing him. First of all, he's an uncommon. This is the first time Planeswalkers have ever appeared as an uncommon. This can also be very good for reprint sets if they inevitably go back on their word and start doing them again, which I bet they will. And its static ability, wow, whenever an opponent draws a card, Obnixilis who the fuck knows. He deals a point of damage to that player. That is a very cool ability, especially one that's static, which justifies the 5 cost. Also, very interesting design. He has a starting loyalty and no plus loyalty abilities at all. So you basically use him twice, and unless you have some synergy involving other cards, you're just going to use him twice, and then you're going to have an opponent try and kill him. Because that's another good design choice because of the static ability. You use his ability twice, but no more than that. But an opponent can still kill him with a creature, and it only takes 1. I'm really liking the direction of Planeswalker. His minus ability, speaking of which, is actually pretty excellent, man. So, to -2, you can destroy target creature and its controller draws 2 cards. Now, this is a very flexible ability. 1, you can put him in some sort of Nekusar deck or whatever that punishes card draw. You can use him on yourself. This is any creature too. Sometimes if, maybe in Legacy if Leovold was like, this thing isn't going to Legacy. I think this might have a chance in Standard though. This is definitely going to be a Commander pick, which I like more Commander cards. Especially in Planeswalkers. You don't really get to see too many Planeswalker cards that are particularly good in Commander formats. That format, by the way, has a lot of sacrifice options. Like, geez, it's overwhelming. Next is 4 mana, 1 blue, 1 black for Tezzeret, Master of the Bridge, another mythic. So I guess the pattern with the mythics is to have a static ability and more traditional plus minus ultimate formatting for the abilities. Anyways, oh my god, Affinity's back! Ah, that's so cool! Okay, that's actually really cool. For those who don't know, Affinity for artifacts means it costs 1 less for each artifact in play. Creatures and Planeswalker spells you have, you wouldn't even ever want to just minus this guy. Jeez, you just plus him. Like, his minus ability isn't even that good. It's -3. To return an artifact card from your graveyard, you don't want to risk losing this beast. This could be a cornerstone for a deck. Too expensive for Standard because even with the expensive Planeswalkers, the cards, it'll definitely make some weird, I don't know, MTG Goldfish jank deck or something. I could definitely see that happening. But for Planeswalkers to really do good, and for cards in general, they can't be too gimmicky or like, build around me, I will synergize with you for the rest of the game, but I cost 6 mana. Like, that's not going to happen. And it's definitely not going to happen in any of the Eternal formats. Though, Commander, the Battlecruiser format, it's definitely happening, and I'm definitely going to find a way for a blue-black artifact deck, and god, there's not enough room for all the good cards. Basically, you could just make it all Tezzeret. Just Tezzeret Tribal. Anyways, his +2 deals X damage to each opponent, where X is the number of artifacts you control. You gain X life. Okay, I mean, that's a very good ability, and I love it. Could kill a person on the spot, actually. Maybe that'll be good in Standard. Get all the... If there's more 0-mana artifacts, that's definitely going to be a deck. You just kill them immediately. But I do not like the deal damage phrasing. Especially since you can just give them on their... Just say as lifelink. Come on, guys. That'd be a lot quicker. His ultimate... Exile top 10 cards of deck. Put all artifact cards from among them onto the ballot. It's not that OP, given ultimates. It's no Tameo. It's pretty good, though. It's definitely worth plussing that often. Though I like that it takes some thought, You could even whiff. Oh. So, overall, +2 and static ability. Very well designed card, though the -3's too weak compared to the +2, which is a bit of a discrepancy. I'd put the tougher ability as the minus, though it's a lot more fun this way. I think it's just a worse card design because you should be discouraged from spamming the plus because the minus is so much better. Or a little better. You shouldn't be punished for using a worse ability on top of that. I don't know, I don't really... Maybe it's to prevent it from being just a card advantage engine, but it's also 6 mana. At that point, make it a card advantage engine. I mean, I don't really think much can really infinitely combo with it. Maybe the Chain Veil? No, that's not even that. No. Okay, moving on. Oh my god, it's hybrid mana on a Planeswalker. Oh, this is good. This is good. This is good. That's it's an uncommon too. Oh, I love this. This is actually really cool. I love the hybrid mana aspect. That's definitely a plus. The static ability is very unique and interesting. Basically, Death Touch Tribal. Whenever a creature you control with Death Touch deals damage to a creature Planeswalker, you put a +1. Bleh. You put a +1/+1 counter on it. That's pretty snazzy. Of course, that's kind of a useless ability. It's pretty gimmicky without that minus ability for 4 mana, you know? But it kind of makes it worth it. I don't know. This seems like one of those cards that you'd think wouldn't do good in Standard, but ends up doing good in Standard. It's gonna be easier than people think to hit players in Planeswalkers because Death Touch maybe? I don't know. Also, Death Touch is a very, very good deterrent from it, you know, getting killed, so you can just keep plussing it all day, creating 1/1 Death Touch assassins. Also, I love the part where it just kills Planeswalkers, which not only is hilarious, but also coincides with their earlier abilities of creating assassins that just up and up kills the player, because remember, players are Planeswalkers. Though this isn't as edgy and epic, because she can't really focus on too many Planeswalkers. You just have to kill all of them you see, because everyone in this area is an enemy. Everyone's a soldier. It's not like one's this badass guy who can control the area. Not every Planeswalker fighting each other. Armies of Planeswalkers. So this is a very flavorful card. I will love to see what ridiculous things people do with this. Obviously another good one for EDH. What a shocker. Might actually do okay in Standard. Not entirely sure. Also, I love that it brings back Obnixil's good old aesthetic with the -2 until it dies. Speaking of -2 until it almost dies, I meant to say almost dies with Obnixil. Yeah, but not quite died. Dead. Tybalt! Basically the same general format of static ability and synergistic minus with the 5 starter. He actually is pretty cheap in correlation with his presumably inferior first design, you know, so that's a plus. I believe this is the first Planeswalker with a colorless of more than 1 in the mana cost. I don't really know how to phrase it, but it doesn't have double red, so that's, I mean, below 4, of course. That's what I mean. God, it's really tough to phrase it with this guy. Already driving me insane. Okay, he can create a 1/1 devil. Ooh, Satan's. Might be good for Rakdos Showstopper. Get on that, guys. Anyways, it does the devilly thing where it dies, it deals any target 1 damage, you know. I think the most important part about this card is, 1, it's a Tybalt card that isn't amazingly bad, that actually sets you back whenever you play it. But 2, more relevant, is that the combination of actually doing something and opponents not being able to gain life. You know, we need more cards like that when they aren't just do nothing and they prevent opponents from gaining life. I mean, there have been some in the past, but we need more. Also, you know, my EDH deck needs another copy because it doesn't have enough. There aren't enough. Here's a pretty bad, just limited removal. Definitely would pick it in limited. Wouldn't pick it anywhere else, let's just say that. I mean, it's better than what we've seen that are in similar vein to this, and it does deal with tiny indestructibles, but granted, it's like, why? I don't like these kinds of cards. Though, once again, this is probably the best of its category. Maybe this one will actually be okay. Let's look at the flavor text, though. Trapped on Ravnica with no affection for either side, good old Abi here sought gratification from random acts of torment. Though he's boring, he might be interesting if he teams up with Tybalt, because that's like the same motivation. Wow. Just some two basically joke characters just trying to torture everyone while a battle for the multiverse is happening. Also, why are you trapped on Ravnica? This is kind of contrived. I'm guessing either Tezzeret pulled him in with his portal, or Ob Nixilis maybe just was traveling, but the plot device from Ixalan trapped him here. Maybe not Niv Mizzet. Nicol Bolas was like, I'm gonna bring in evil guys from everywhere. Yay! I'm gonna summon you, cucks. I don't know. So I guess that's kind of an interesting output, whatever, look into lore. What am I fucking saying right now? Let's move on to something more interesting. Hey there, fellas. Tips. Hedora. That was fucking awful. Okay, you may look at the top card of your library anytime. Okay, Bolas' Citadel for 6 mana. For a legendary artifact. This is gonna be the weirdest set. Let's see what you can do with that top card. You may cast it by paying life equal to its mana cost instead of paying its mana cost. Alright, the unholy love child of Yawgmoth's agenda. Wait, no. I don't know. Yawgmoth's bargain and omniscience at 6 mana. What is this abomination? Oh my god. I don't think anyone's gonna break it, but I'm a little scared to see this if it does. I don't know. There's so many decks you can put this in. Black top deck matters decks. You could put this in cheap suicide black. You should maybe just cheap black, maybe just cheap anything. Who knows? Oh, and I guess if that wasn't enough, you can sacrifice 10 permanents and just have every opponent's life or quarter them in EDH. What is this card? This is one of the strangest cards I've seen in a while. I love it, but I'm also a little scared of it. God. Oh, God, Storm. Oh, God, Storm. Well, okay, Jaleva. I'm not accepting this shit. Jaleva players, no. Hey, Bitter Blossom's back. Oh, wait, no. This is totally not Bitter Blossom, as it's a 2-mana black enchantment that makes a 1/1 token at the cost of 1 life during your upkeep. Definitely not inspired by Bitter Blossom. Anyways, actually it's a bit more complicated than that. It has the mechanic Amass, which means that you make a 0/0 black zombie and you put a counter on it if you haven't had one already, but if you do have one, an Amass zombie token, you add another counter to it and you can't really make any more zombie army Amass whatever tokens. Flavorfully, it's a very cool mechanic because, you get an army in one. Though, I mean, wouldn't it already be an army? Maybe it's not that flavorfully cool. Mechanically, I think it's just worse than just making tokens. Also, have fun putting +1/+1 counters on the tokens. You definitely bought their merch and bought the counters and are not using pennies to put on a nickel. Yeah, that's going to be very fun to deal with, I'm sure. It also has a somewhat useless ability that starts out cool. Whenever a zombie token you control with power 6 or greater attacks, oh my god, is it gonna be epic? Is it gonna be cool? No, it just gets lifelink. Why 6? That's such an arbitrary number. Maybe that'll be a theme in this set. Usually if it's an arbitrary number, it is a theme. Overall, this is it's an okay card. It's just building up 1 token. You're losing life. It replaces said token, so that's actually good design. The last ability is just kind of tacked on. It's no Bitter Blossom, okay? It's no Bitter Blossom. But beware its thickness. Emergence Zone. Cool art. It's just Winding Canyons, except worse. Moving on. Oh my god, a Proliferate triggered. Flux Channeler. Non-creature spells. Proliferate. Oh my god, that's such a genius idea for a mechanic to bring back for a Planeswalker set. I love the mechanics they're bringing back. God, this is actually... Oh my god, this set, like, it's actually good. I wasn't too excited with some of the previous sets. Ixalan looked weak, and I feel like I'm being a bit of a WotC dick sucker, but I don't want to be. I legit, like, didn't really see that before, and I was like, whoa, the first time I saw it. I love Proliferate. That's gonna be great for EDH. Maybe not standard. You never know. But, oh my god, Proliferate. Every non-creature spell. Oh god, that's cool. That is really cool. Yeah, Traxa got a new toy. Herald of the Dread Horde is a pretty alright card, actually. Because, I mean, maybe 1 less and I'd be more inclined to use it. But as for now, it's a 4 mana 3/2 that makes a 2/2 when it dies, or pumps a pre-existing creature. It's a very well designed card, and I like the simple commons. Black seems to be good at making simple cards that are really flexible. So I appreciate that continued trend. Ignite the Beacon is a double Planeswalker tutor. You kind of expected this to happen. You kind of expected Ajani to look like Jeb Bush. I mean, I did at least. Anyways, but what I didn't expect was it to be instant speed. So, that's appreciated, and I think that makes the card a lot better. So, solid design. It's not going to do much in Standard, I think. It's going to do a lot in Commander, though, that's for sure, so I'm going to pre-order these. Speaking of Planeswalker cards we should have seen coming, that's a land we should have seen coming. I didn't expect it to be 2 mana of any color, so it's some hideous, abominable combination of Eldrazi Temple and Sliver Hive. So, I mean, it's not nearly as broken as either of those two, but Planeswalkers are annoying enough on their own. I mean, the life gain's also appreciated. The most shocking part is that this is an uncommon. You'd expect something that won't net you tempo loss to color fix perfectly. That's rare stuff right there. But, okay, once again, gonna use that word I've been using all video. It's appreciated. Invade the city. More weird blue-red instant sorcery synergy making black zombies. This isn't the first time I've seen this. Why is that a trend? It's an odd trend. Cool art, though. It's a pretty decent card. Mass X number of instants and sorceries in your yard. That's pretty neat. It's okay. Might put it in a commander deck. Maybe not. I don't know. It's a little eh. No Escape is a counter spell that does a lot given that it's 2 colorless, 1 blue in the modern era. Counter target creature or planeswalker spell. Good to have those. Exiles it and scries 1. It's pretty alright. It's not nowhere near up to snuff of like what I'd put in a commander deck, given you have counter spell. I mean, it'll probably do alright in standard though. It's too slow for modern, obviously. And Legacy has Force of Will, so they don't give a shit. Legacy has a billion better options. Oh my god. Exile all multicolored permanents. It's very flavorful that it's only 1 white because... Wait, no it's not. Wouldn't it be flavorful to make it triple white or something? Or quadruple white? I don't know. It seems solid. It's permanence. We've had some pretty nasty card. Like, what is it? Hour of Promise, was it? Like, exiled everything for sometimes 3 mana. So, as a mono white commander deck, you're gonna need this because you're gonna be seeing a lot of annoying multicolored permanents. But it's a very good card for that. Probably won't do much in standard. Maybe it will though with all the hybrid mana costs. Definitely, once again, this is not a good looking set for Eternal formats, unlike the last few. But this is just day 1, obviously. Relentless Advance, Amass 3. That's lame and not very blue. Cool art though. Tybalt's Rager has a lot of flavor going on, though it's a bad card. Only Rakdos Showstopper decks in this part of the town. I like that it's slightly buffer than the normal Devil in terms of toughness, and it can boost itself physically. Very Rage-like. So it kind of indicates a bit of a hierarchy amongst Tybalt's minions. You know, so that's cool. Just thinking about level bosses, you know. Judith saying that that she likes its energy. I like the fact that this could still lead to guild interactions with the Planeswalkers. And Rakdos would be the least alarmed by the chaos because they like chaos. Also, I'm sure Gruul would like it too. Tron players, check out a new board wipe you might like, especially equipment-based ones because auras kinda die. Time wipe. Ooh, why does time have to do with bouncing now? Look at Karn's temporal whatever. It's a pretty brutal card. Just destroys everything but protects the one thing you want the most. I like it. Elegantly designed and also a lot cheaper than the the Abzan one. We'll see play in EDH and standard, I'm sure. Definitely not modern. And Vraska's finisher is first pick in limited, but that's about it. Maybe not even first pick. I don't know why this is a rare. Maybe limited, but this is just kind of a meh card. Like, it's fine. It's fine as a zombie board wipe. No, it's not fine. It's not fine. So that seems to be it for today. Wait, there has just been new spoilers. Repeat. New spoilers. New spoiler. Arlen Cord, best werewolf wife. What does that mean? She's a furry. I don't know. She's awesome. Let's see how awesome she is. Wow! That is horribly underwhelming. Why did they have to make her starting loyalty and mana cost so high? It would have been an okay card, though disappointed that she's not dual colored, but whatever. It would have been fine to just have basically a werewolf metallic mimic that could create a bunch of werewolves each turn, but it's too expensive to be that exciting. Dang it, Arlen. You were so cool. But I'm putting you in a werewolf deck because those decks need all the help they can get, dear God. Arlen's Wolf, why aren't you a 3/3 vanilla? That would have been flavorful. Whatever. Either way, limited fodder. Okay, this is going to be the No, I thought that was a Dryad. I guess it's an Elf Druid. Anyways, it's going to be the Mana Dork for tap and untap decks. In other words, I'm putting this in Derevi EDH. Probably good in standard too. It actually seems really good. Hexproof when not tapping for mana. People try to bolt the dork. I don't think they'll be able to do it. We saw how good that ability and combination can be, and it can even attack for 2. Seems like it's gonna be good for standard actually. Wow, a non-EDH card. Who'd have thunk it? God damn it, Jace. Laboratory Maniac. He was annoying enough. Now we have 2 copies. I mean, I'm pre-ordering you because I know you're going to be expensive because of that. But okay. Also, he can mill. Oh god, his entire game plan is going towards that goal. Luckily, his ultimate sucks. It's a bit redundant. Though, I mean, they had to phrase it like that because he'd be dead and you wouldn't get the trigger. But, oh no. Laboratory Maniac. You were annoying enough. God damn it, Jace. Why? It's a good card. Probably standard, maybe even modern playable. Probably not. This card, I don't like it. Laboratory Maniac. Not good in a Lurin combo decks though, haha, bitch. So, it looks like that was the wrap for today. Jeez, 30 minutes. I do like to go in depth with my spoiler analysis. Every card I can. Though once they spoil the whole set, I'm just gonna be like, screw that. No way, Jose. No way, Jose. Though, hope you guys enjoyed this video. That was... I like it. I like the spoilers so far. I'm very impressed with the way they're designing Planeswalkers now. Some of them are a bit disappointing and annoying. It was bound to happen, though. I think it's I'm willing to take the sacrifice to make Planeswalkers a just better part of the game instead of +1 token, card advantage, minus, removal, ultimate, no static ability, even though we have a place we can put it. Oh yeah, we just have to make an emblem for that. Also, no commanders. So that's a little sad. But I think it's all good. It's very good. Once again, hope you enjoyed it. Share it on Twitter, whatever. Subscribe to this channel. That would be cool. Check my every EDH deck ever made series. It's probably not going to happen. It's about every commander possibility that there is and me making a deck for it, but once again, very unlikely. I've been at it for 2 years and I'm only about 2/3 of the way through all the legendary creatures, really, and other legends. Hope you all have a good day.